is this a really, really, really good time to bet the Bills to win the AFC? Is this like a great time to bet that?
Yeah. Can I tell you, please, I'm sorry to interrupt
you. Well, this is why I don't message you, because we're the same person, so it doesn't matter.
I swear on my father's grave, this morning, I'm working out, not meant to be a humble brag. I'm thinking about the game. I was listening to some podcasts about the NFL fantasy football podcast that I listened to. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, if Buffalo's going to win this weekend, like, now is actually the time to bet the Bills to either win the Super Bowl or the AFC. Like, no BS. Right. Like, literally, on everything that is holy, I had the same exact thought this morning about the Buffalo Bills.
Great. I haven't bet it yet, to be fair. But the crux of it, I don't want to bet them to win the Super Bowl. I think it's more there's like a price discrepancy. I don't know what the MGM prices are like. Please bring them up for the Bills for the AFC and the Super Bowl. Because in a lot of places, the Bills are very long to win the AFC. The best price I saw, I think, was 23 to win just the AFC, just to get to the Super Bowl, 23. And there's definitely a 20 still. I think there was a 21 and blackjack. And then the Super Bowl prices are like 30. And I'm like, hey, you know who they're going to play in the Super Bowl, right? The best team of all time. I'm not being hyperbolic. Like, I reran my Super Bowl stuff today. The Niners rate out better than any team I've ever rated. Ever. At this point. Of all time. Undefeated Patriots, like, name it. As a Super Bowl contender, they've got the best score right now. So, like, I don't want to bet the Bills to win the Super Bowl. Ever. That team's waiting for it. The hell do I want to bet them to win the Super Bowl? For they can be a dog in the game. Like, no way. Doesn't mean they can't win. Just like I'm good. And the Niners are definitely favored in that game, no matter who wins what the rest of the season. Like, the Niners are favored in that game. But the other games, like, get into the game. You could be like, the Chiefs are going to win the game. Great. The point spread's 2.5. Go bet the Chiefs then, if it's like such a stupid idea. All right.
Well, 1.5, like I think even at MGM can.
So like 47%, 48% win probability game. What happens if they win? Do these prices age really rapidly, really well? I think the answer is yes. And the other thing that win does, which is also really interesting, is it basically eliminates the Chiefs from being the 1 seed. So it's like a double win. Like, they don't get the week off. You may not have to go there until the end. Like, it's actually like triply awesome if they win. It's like the ramifications of winning this are actually awesome for you and atrocious for the team that you beat. Let's be honest, the Bills can go there and win this game. I don't think they want to go back. Like, I don't think they want to have to go back, especially if the Chiefs end up getting a week off, which is still very much in play. The 1 seed's really open still. Like, Chiefs take another loss. Now it's like Baltimore a lot of the time. Sometimes Miami. Really, it's Baltimore like almost all the time, the way the schedule shakes out. Baltimore will lose to the Niners and win every other game is probably how it'll go. And Baltimore's going to be really likely to be the one if that happens. Okay. So if they win, everything rearranges really, really fast. And you get a lot of playoff paths. Sure, like sometimes... This is really crazy. Sometimes the Bills and the Chiefs would actually end up playing in the first round, the way the wildcard seeds would go, no matter what happens in this game. That is one of the possible like rearrangements, but you completely remove them from the 1, you completely remove them from the bye, and you put a team there, even if it's Baltimore, where I think you like wouldn't totally mind going. And if it's like Miami ever, or Lawrence is okay after this week and it's Jackson, like you would love to go to those places. Like, who cares? Go to those places and play a game. So it's just kind of like, yeah, like it's it's one of those bets where you make it, and in one game, you could be like, well, that was fun.
I don't BS on the show. I would just be like, I hadn't thought of that. I would not lie and be like, oh, I thought of the same thing. I did think of the same thing. And my thought was a little different. And it's if they get in, we're through week 18, the Bills are a playoff team. It will mean they will have played really well down the stretch and beaten probably a lot of really good teams, and ostensibly then, like, ergo, are on like a big-time roll heading into the playoffs. So, at Kansas City this week, they play Dallas at home. They play the Chargers holiday weekend, like Christmas weekend. I think they play them on that Saturday the 23rd, because the NFL can't let us have nice things. Like, can we like have some time with our families, please, Roger Goodell? Nope, we can't. We got to watch football all the time. They play the Chargers on the 23rd, and week 18, and I think this like dovetails in with the people that kind of like, if you think the Bills are going to win the division, right, you think Miami might trip up a little bit. Buffalo goes to Miami in week 18 in the final regular season game, and we remember back to week 3 when these two teams played in Buffalo, and the Bills blew their doors off in that game 48-20. So if Buffalo makes it, they will have likely beaten like at least 3, if not all 4 of these teams, Kansas City, Dallas, Miami, and the Chargers, and will be like the hot team entering the playoffs. And like you probably want to bet on them at that point. So I agree 100% with your thought. Now, like you said, could lose to the Chiefs this week. They could beat the Chiefs and then lose to the Cowboys. They could get all the way to the end and then get eliminated by Miami. But if they get in, it will mean that they are the red hot, the white hot team entering the tournament. So I think your thought's really awesome, man. And I think I may join you on this Sean McDermott, Josh Allen experience, which might last for 5 days.
So Robert Saleh says that Zach Wilson's going to be the starter again, that Wilson's going to be the starter for the rest of the season unless he gets hurt, obviously. And the betting market, Baldy, responds to that by betting the Jets, by thinking that they are more likely to win the game with Zach Wilson starting at quarterback. So the Texans were almost a touchdown favorite on the road on Sunday. Now they are just a 4-point favorite. So like obviously a lot more working margin there if you want to bet the Texans now to win and cover. How do you see that game playing out now with Wilson as the quarterback? Do you think that matters? The betting market kind of moved in a way that the betting market thought it did matter.
I do think it matters, Ken. I mean, Tim Boyle doesn't, he's not an NFL quarterback. And it just took 2.5 games for everybody to realize that, I guess. But you just have to watch him play. Like, you would never take that guy to the state fair to get the biggest teddy bear. He's never knocking the milk cartons down. Like, he can't do that. Zach gives him a better chance to win the game. I think defensively they played great against Atlanta last week. I was just up there all morning. I just think, like, the defense, as much as it's hard to win games if your offense doesn't score touchdowns, and they've scored, 10 touchdowns in 12 games or something. It's awful. I feel like the defense can definitely rattle C.J. Stroud in this game. They're without Tank Dell. I think Sauce Gardner on Nico Collins can sort of neutralize that. I like the Jets to win this game. Like, I don't know why, but I do. I mean, the Jets fans, it's that home. Listen, like every single Jet game is at home. I don't know how the schedule came this way, but the Jet fans deserve one win this year at home. Like, they just do. Like, I just feel like that's a dumb analysis, but I feel like the Jets are going to win this game.
So there was an interest in the Jets already. So there's basically been interest in the Jets the whole week. Houston 6.5 on the road. Then it's like 5.5. Then Zach Wilson is confirmed as the starter. Then it's like 4.5. We were even talking to Baldy about it. I was like, can you believe it's down to 4? Like, do you think he matters? Baldy's like, yeah, I think the Jets are going to win the game. Oh, okay. I wonder if anybody in the betting market shares that opinion. Circa, which is a prominent domestic sports book in Las Vegas and in other states, but like their headquarters in Vegas, known to take sharp action. Frequently, they are a book that will move their point spread, and that will cause other books to move also. Market maker would be another way to put that. They clearly took either a large bet or people had significant interest in the Jets there, and they actually, for about 10 minutes, went all the way down to Houston -3 was actually where they went. It just, for people who don't know, it was like a very, very, very significant move to go like onto the most key number. Now, when that happened, so there are two things that are really interesting when that happens, when like you have sort of a book that's different from all the other ones. And they move and everyone else is still like 4.5. So usually what happens is all the other books then immediately go to 3.5 or 3. That happened. So basically every book on the board is 3.5. And then the next question is, okay, like is someone just going to go immediately bet that Houston -3 and bet it back up again? And that happened also. So we've kind of settled at an even lesser price than we were before. The consensus price in this game right now is definitely Texans -3.5. I know it says 4 on our screen. MGM might still be 4. It's 3.5, like literally almost in every single book. The total, despite all of this happening today, the total's still the same. It's 33. This is going to be a terrible game. But all the way down to 3.5 and even touched 3 for a little bit. So we saw some resistance on Houston at that number. But worth noting, like directionally, like we keep moving in the same direction. And it's toward the Jets and Zach Wilson. And we even hit 3 very briefly about 15 minutes ago.
Do you think we need like a Hoobastank drop, like the song Same Direction? Like when the line's like moving one way.
Same direction.
And I don't know
sure
which team to bet.
Yeah.
Vikings making it official today. Not a huge surprise, but like they made it official. Josh Dobbs will once again be under center for Minnesota. Justin Jefferson expected back for the Vikings in this game. Minnesota, a 3-point road favorite at the Raiders. The total in this game is 40.5. What do you have for us here in this hotly anticipated Super Bowl 11 rematch?
I love that. I love your recollection of all these past Super Bowls, Nick. Early service release this week on the Minnesota Vikings drives it up to 3. I thought the opener was fine here. Maybe there's a little bit more positivity and people are expecting more of the Vikings offense with Justin Jefferson back, but I've upgraded them quite substantially with his return, and I can't really get here. I like the Raiders getting 3 at home in this game. In terms of stylistic matchups, everyone's fixated on Minnesota's defense. They blitz a lot. Aiden O'Connell hasn't really been good against the blitz this year, which is true. He struggled against that. But Aiden O'Connell has been very, very good against cover 2 and cover 3. He struggles against heavy man looks. And when we look at the way the Vikings play defense, they don't play much man because they don't have the corners to play much man. They're in cover 3 a lot. They're in cover 2 a lot. So I think that offsets a lot of what they can bring in terms of pressure on Aiden O'Connell. On the other side of things, Josh Dobbs, another guy with very extreme splits. Josh Dobbs, very good in his young career so far against man or any zone coverages that have some sort of man as well, like cover 1. He's cooked those. Part of the reason why, he can use his legs a lot better. Secondary turns their back to the quarterback, runs downfield. Josh Dobbs uses his legs. Against zone coverage teams, he has been terrible, downright terrible against these types of teams, both EPA and success rate wise. So I just like the matchup for the Raiders. Now, yeah, Justin Jefferson obviously going to matter for Minnesota, but even with his inclusion, I can't really get here. So give me Las Vegas at home getting the 3.